Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. All right. So let's start today by taking a couple of breaths as we come up on the holiday season. I know it can be very stressful. So let's find some ways to help us get through the holiday season to help reduce our stress and our anxiety. If you keep an eye out, I'll be putting up some reels and post on either here or Instagram or YouTube that will have some little clips and ways that we can help reduce stress, anxiety, bring that cortisol down. So let's start today by closing our eyes, taking a couple of nice deep breaths way down into the belly and way out again. And if it feels good and you can release with those sighs. Sometimes it just feels really good to be able to just let that out, that sigh out with all that energy that's coming up. Good. Maybe one more. Breathe in and release. Good. And just coming into this moment with no expectations. Allowing the mind to quiet. Maybe bringing your attention down to your feet. Sending those roots down into the ground, getting grounded. Good. Good, good, good. So before I forget, one of the ways that I am finding a little more peace and a little more centeredness, trying to bring that cortisol down, I have been drinking cacao every morning. And whether you have cacao or hot chocolate or even a tea or anything like that, even if it's coffee in the moment, being mindful as you drink it. Cacao actually will help reduce, well, they say it's will help reduce stress and anxiety and bring more of this calm and the peace into the heart. But whatever you have in the moment, just really taking it in, breathing it in. I was so excited. I had these little chocolate eyes, they call them, which is the oils from the cacao that come up, and my cup was just full of them, and these great big ones and these little ones. So, and just really connecting. Even in the morning, when you have that cup of coffee, you can breathe it in. And maybe blow an intention for your day, maybe blowing in peace and calm. And then taking that drink. But maybe taking that time in the morning to just stop. Find your center, find your peace. I know sometimes we get going in the morning and we're so used to making the coffee and getting our day started. And it doesn't have to take long. It can just take a couple of moments. But today I really wanted to talk about finding those little moments. I was talking to someone at yoga the other day, and we were doing our little mindful meditation moment at the end. And I was, asking her to go to one of those amazing places that she's visited that she enjoys so much, and bringing that feeling in of bliss and harmony and awe, or any of those really high vibrational moments or feelings. And when we were done, she was talking about how she was having a hard time bringing in or remembering exactly what that moment felt like. And then as I was scrolling through, doom scrolling this weekend, I came across, I think it was an ad for somewhere out in nature. I can't remember where. And it had the word giddy on it. And I was like, oh, that feels good too. Usually we want to promote or have these higher vibrations or vibrational feelings, these really good feelings. And sometimes it is hard to feel bliss in the moment, especially if we're feeling a lot of anxiety or we're having these moments of stress. Maybe we can't reach and pull in those moments. And so maybe it's just finding a higher vibration than where we're at in the moment. And we can feel giddy. Or we find those glimmers, right? Or glitters. I was going to say glitters because I love glitter. I know not everybody does, but I just love glitter. I love the sparkles. And even as I'm talking about it, you can hear how I'm getting a little more giddy about it, right? And so just having that and bringing that in is just helping me to feel even more higher vibrational, feeling even more in the moment, and getting out of that stuck feeling of stress, anxiety, or even just feeling kind of blah. So, finding even a giddy moment or something that made you smile. I'm getting ready to go back and do a fire walk. And one of the things that they talked about was, usually we're here, fire walk, we got to get up here. And so by bringing ourselves up into a moment or something that feels stressful, or we have these big things, and if we're here and we need to get here, how can we get here? Well, feeling giddy, feeling a glimmer, or finding a glimmer can help you do that. And just being in that moment can make big differences. So if feeling bliss or feeling awe or what have you feels too big, bring it back down a little bit. Look for giddy. Look for something that just makes your heart warm. And saying I've been posting a lot more animal videos or things that make me smile, the reels on my personal page. When it starts to feel too heavy with all of the politics and other things, that's when I start posting those to make my Facebook feel a little bit more high vibrational or happy, or just hopefully finding things that make people smile or make me smile. So, whatever it is, it's perfectly fine. Find what you need, because it's all good. And even if you can make yourself smile or laugh, and especially in a moment when things feel heavy, it changes things. Even if you're standing in a moment and you feel like you're getting all crunched up and you get lost in that storyteller, the one who wants to tell stories about this, that, and another, the commentator of life who wants to tell you how to feel, and our brains love to bring up those things that it thinks it's keeping us safe by reminding us of a time when maybe someone hurt us, or we did something and we got hurt, or what have you. And thank you, brain, but in this moment I don't need that stress. I don't need that heaviness. I want to feel lighter and in this moment. So what I would like to do is, if as I'm talking about this, maybe that storyteller is talking, or you have some feelings that are coming up that are going, I don't know about this. That's okay. But find those, and we're going to blow those into our stick today. So take a nice deep breath in and blow it into the stick. And again. And allow yourself to let go of those heavy stories. Allow yourself to let go. Good. And then we'll take that and we'll allow it to transform from that heavy energy into that light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And in this moment, maybe close your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. Allow yourself to connect to something that makes you feel happy or makes you smile in this moment, that will help your heart release and let go of some of that heaviness. And sometimes it's all about letting that go, giving ourselves permission to breathe it out, to let it go, giving ourselves permission to feel happy. And yes, there's a lot of heavy feelings that we can let go of as well. But right now, we're not going to focus on those. And I'm not saying to spiritually bypass by any means. You know, I don't believe in spiritually bypassing. I don't believe in, oh, let's not look at that. But for right now in this moment, let's come into the heart. Let's feel happy. Let's feel love. Let's feel giddy. Maybe when we're done, go on Facebook. And you know, I don't promote a lot of that too. But go and find, if you can't, go and find something in Facebook that makes you smile. Go outside. It's a beautiful day today. And find your glimmer that makes you smile. When I was out earlier, the sun was shining, the sky was blue, the snow has melted. And find that peace. Maybe find a song that makes you feel good, that makes you smile, because that's what we're looking for. It doesn't have to be these great big huge things in this moment. If that's too big, that's okay. But just come back into that peace. Find what feels good. And in this moment, if you can connect to that, and keep it small if you need to, and just breathe it in and let it out. Maybe take your left hand on your heart. The right hand goes on the second chakra, right underneath your belly button. And when we can breathe in that love into that heart and bring it down to the second chakra and feeling those good feelings. And you can make up a feeling, a memory that makes you feel good too. And bring that feeling into the heart, and from the heart all the way down into that second chakra. And you can imagine breathing in that feeling and letting go of anything that doesn't bring in that feeling. And if the storyteller, the commentator, starts talking, it's okay to tell them the shush. And you can do this for just a couple of breaths. If that's all the time you have. Being mindful of those times that maybe trigger you. And just breathing those out. Allowing those loving feelings, those happy feelings to come into every cell of your body. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. And yes, it can be that easy and that simple in this moment. And it's about coming back into this moment. So again, remember, we've talked many, many times about how we start to train ourselves, our brains, into finding these happy moments, into being in these moments so our bodies know how they feel, so that we can come back into them. And sometimes we have to unlearn or be very mindful of when those stories start again of the brain trying to keep us safe, but keeping us in those stories that keep us here and don't raise us up here. Oh, good. And as many of you know, traffic is one of those triggers for me. And I think I talked about it last Monday because we had all the snow last Monday. But it was having those moments, even this weekend, of feeling myself getting triggered and going, whoop, nope, I don't need that cortisol. I don't need that trigger. I don't need that stress. And bringing it back down and wishing that person love and light. Or feeling those great things. Yes, it is. But feeling those higher vibrational things, because that's where I want to be. So maybe setting an intention this morning of finding the glimmers, of finding those spaces, of being mindful of when the stress comes in. Because as we get closer to the holidays, if family is a big trigger, which it can be, or being out in the holiday season and all of the stresses that come with it, or all of the stresses that are kind of going on right now in the world, that if you can train yourself in this moment, when you're still, when you're quiet, it's easier to bring this moment back in. I hope that makes sense. But we're training ourselves so that we can keep coming back to these moments, so that we can get through the holidays and we don't have to sit and go, okay, there's a trigger. What do I need to learn from it? Do all of those things, which set aside that for when you're not in the moment, when you're not with family, when you're not in all of that. But coming back into this moment where, okay, I'm going to enjoy my family, I'm going to enjoy the holidays, I'm going to enjoy being right here, right now. So I hope that is helpful, and we will keep talking about these little things. Remember, if there's anything that you would like me to talk about, if there's anything that's coming to your mind, if there's any questions that you have, just pop them down into the comments and I'll be happy to look at them for next time. And remember, we have a lot more videos on our YouTube station, and I'll be putting more on there too. All right. So, having great love, great gratitude for you, breathing in, breathing out, find the little pieces. So, find your glimmers today, everyone, and things that make you giddy.